Bloodthirsty Predator from Animal. Explained. Animal is a horror thriller film directed by Brett Simmons and produced by Drew Barrymore. It was released on June 17, 2014 in a limited release and video on demand. It stars Elizabeth Gillies, Keke Palmer, Jeremy Sumpter, Eve, and Joey Lauren Adams. Animal is a creature feature with a premise as inventive as the title suggests. A group of pals going hiking and are attacked by a beast, joining up with another group inside an abandoned house before being picked off one by one. For people who enjoy 1980s style horror films, opening a movie with plain white on black credits and that instantly identifiable John Carpenter font is a sure way to grab their curiosity, and this film delivers on it. Animal features some great cinematography. Most of the movie is set at night and everything is bright and well lit. There's a lot of action and quick motion in this film, and it's all nicely recorded and polished. When you consider the superb ensemble, Drew Barrymore's involvement as an executive producer, and the fact that Brett Simmons is directing the film, the excellent quality of this film is not surprising. All the forest surroundings are stunning, and the cabin where the survivors recuperate has some fantastic production design.
Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
It's feeding time. Animal. Animal tells the story of 5 buddies who embark on a wooded hiking adventure. When Jeff, played by Parker Young, and his stepsister Alyssa, played by Keke Palmer, were younger, they used to join their parents in these forests. They decide to return with Jeff's girlfriend Mandy, played by Elizabeth Gillies, Alyssa's boyfriend Matt, played by Jeremy Sumpter, and their friend Sean, played by Paul Iacano, after a long absence. The film opens with a scene in which 2 married couples, Carl and Vicky, and Douglas and Barbara, are being pursued by a mystery beast through the woods. Barbara, our barely introduced character, is killed. Alyssa, Matt, Jeff, Mandy, and Sean arrive in the forest to trek a few days later. Sean is our classic comic relief character, while Jeff plays the alpha male who clearly doesn't believe in saving Mother Nature. The film plays highly on interpersonal relationships between the characters. Jeff convinces the others to search for a waterfall that he, Alyssa, and their father used to visit as children. The entire shot is rather scenic, making it feel like a self-discovery moment rather than a horror film scene. Alyssa starts asking Jeff to go back to the car since it is getting dark, but Jeff stays true to our alpha male stereotype and keeps trying to reassure her that they are fine. Thankfully, Jeff gives in and they start walking back to the car. However, Mandy is not happy about walking back to the car in the dark, resulting in an argument between her and Jeff. On their way back, Mandy comes across the remains of Barbara's body along the road. Just then, they hear the scream of the animal. Unfortunately for them, the beast that had killed Barbara sees them and starts to chase them. This is the first time we see the creature, even if it was just for a moment. Jeff tries to keep the group calm and collected when they find a cabin in the middle of nowhere. It seems to be the only place they can discover to get away from the creature. However, the beast catches up and attacks Jeff while all the others can do is watch. The other 4 decide to at least save themselves and run to the cabin. Mandy is attacked as she enters the cabin, but the group manages to pull her in and board up the door. Carl, Vicky, and Douglas are found in the cabin, having boarded up the windows and walls to shield themselves from the thing. In the cabin, they find out that there are other people who are already taking refuge there. They decide to stick together while attempting to eliminate the animal that is stalking and preying on them.
It's like we always say, if you can't control it.
Once inside, Sean calls 911 and Alyssa's parents to get any sort of help as soon as possible. We soon get acquainted with the 3 and their personalities. Carl and Vicky are optimistic that they will be rescued soon, while Douglas is pessimistic, which seems understandable considering he saw his wife getting eaten by the monster just a few days back. He isn't pleased about the new arrivals either. He thinks that now that they have opened the door to the house, the beast has gotten a scent of fresh meat and will be attacking again soon. The rest of the crew get to work on strengthening their defenses and barricading the house better. The creature comes for them as Douglas had predicted. It comes close to breaking into the house as well, but they manage to hold it off. The animal somehow starts crawling on the roof, so Carl takes Sean and Matt with him to keep an eye out for the creature. The animal tries to come in through a door, but thankfully the boys, with the help of Mandy and Alyssa, are able to block it, but not before Carl gets hurt. The scripting combination of Tommy Hudson and Catherine Trillo have created a plot that combines a creature feature, cold-blooded psychological thriller as tensions between the characters in an abandoned house in the middle of the woods drive at least one person to the edge of insanity. Despite the film's title, the relationship between the human characters when they are shut up in the cabin are the most essential component of the picture. The secrets they share and the concerns that surface as a result of the experiences are the traits that propel the film ahead and keep it from becoming monotonous. These added nuances to the characters make the non-fiction moments feel equally as vital as the action moments. Douglas tries to convince everyone to make a run for it because he doesn't believe staying at the cabin will help. Matt volunteers to take a walkie-talkie and make a dash for the car to get help, despite Alyssa's protests. Carl offers to distract the monster with Sean while Matt makes a run for it. While it would be nice to hope things turn out for the better and he is able to make it safely to the car and find help, his screams, as heard over the walkie-talkie, tell a different story. Douglas gives into the pandemic and barricades the door, leaving Sean and Carl to perish outside. The girls, thankfully, have enough sense to assist them in getting in through the rear of the house. Due to his stupid decision, Douglas is tied to the stairwell by the group, who have lost faith in him now. Alyssa, suffering from the loss of two people who were closest to her, tries to focus her energies on defeating the animal and killing it. Overwhelmed by emotion, Mandy tells Alyssa that she is pregnant. Meanwhile, Sean panics in the other room and starts reminiscing over all their time together. Not so surprisingly, our comic relief is also gay. He admits to having an affair with Jeff in front of Mandy and Alyssa. Just then, the group gets a signal from Matt via his walkie-talkie. He is discovered barely alive in the cellar along with the animal by the others. They manage to get Matt back upstairs because of Carl, who sacrifices himself in the process.
You're not seriously going down there, are you?
I have to. But Alyssa, what if he's alive? You heard.
Douglas suggests that the group use Matt as bait and let the animal eat him since he is already dying. The group refuses and instead chooses to listen to Alyssa, who suggests to capture the animal inside the home and set it on fire. Alyssa tells Sean to assist her to untie Doug, but he decides to be the most hated character and beats Matt to death and accuses the others of being weak. He claims to be a survivor, which in hindsight is ironic considering the beast breaks in just at the moment and kills Douglas. While the animal is busy devouring him, the others sprinkle kerosene throughout the house. Alyssa is successfully in luring the animal into the trap. She starts a fire and burns the monster to death. However, Vicky gets distracted by Carl's body in the cellar while a second animal enters the scene and attacks Sean. While Mandy does her best to get Vicky out of there in time, the animal gets to her first. Mandy and Alyssa takes to the woods to hide, but the animal seems to be on a killing spree and kills Alyssa as well. Mandy does her best to throw the animal off her scent and reach the car. Just as she gets inside, the second animal attacks her. She rams into the creature with her car, killing it effectively. Sobbing, our only survivor drives away. The film's closing scene shows the third animal sniffing at the carcass of the second animal, where it grunts angrily, implying a call to the pack. Bloodthirsty predator. As with any excellent animal attack video, more of the beast is revealed as the story progresses. This one's creature design is quite interesting. It features a muscular humanoid torso and a bird-like head. It has hooves for feet and a weird patch of hair on its back. Instead of a bird's beak, it has a massive set of teeth with which to consume its prey. The creature has a terrible appearance and adds a sense of dread to the proceedings. It's a compelling creature villain for a horror film in which the animal is responsible for the majority of the scares.
Vicky! Vicky!
Throughout the movie, we hope to see where the creature came from or its story, but the film doesn't reveal the answers to those mysteries. For a significant chunk of the movie, we assume there is only one creature, but towards the last 20 minutes, things start getting intense, and we see two more animals. The movie does great injustice to the exploration of the creature, considering it is a creature feature film. The audience doesn't know the creature's strength during the entirety of the film. All we can figure out is that it has a great sense of smell, because of which it can find people to prey upon easily. One can also assume that the animal was fast and quiet-footed, or maybe I should say quiet-hoofed, as it seemed to reach its target without anyone realizing. Why should you watch Animal? The film has done a great job with the creation of the characters. Douglas, who together with Vicky and Carl, were already in the cabin when the 5 friends arrived, creation of panic and tension. He's a paranoid survivalist who will go to any length to keep his skin safe. He is pessimistic about their current condition and doesn't understand how aiding others will keep them alive. His inability to cooperate with the others while they try to carry out their plans provide an interesting twist to their struggle for survival and adds more depth to the plot than the conventional predator-prey encounter. Nolasco brings out the fearful aspect of his character to such a convincing degree that it successfully leads to the film's dramatic climax. Animal cinematography perfectly complements the creature's appearance. Shot compositions and camera movement serves to bring a film set mainly in the woods and in a cabin to life. Director Brett Simmons and cinematographer Scott Winnick worked together to create a beautiful marriage that helped the film appear more expensive than it was. It had the vibe of a low-budget horror film with the appearance and polish of a major studio production. Animal was more visually appealing due to the high quality of the cinematography and is consequentially a better watch than many other films that fall short in this area. It is a cottage in the woods film that everyone interested in the horror subgenre should see. It doesn't add anything to the idea of people being confined in the cabin. Despite this, it does an excellent job portraying the characters' fears in a dangerous situation. There's something to be said for a film that gets the job done while not being completely unique. Animal was precisely that. It was a film that was well informed about what it was doing. Through the performances, the appearances, and the directing, it was in capable hands. Even though it didn't add anything fresh to the table, it was fun to watch. Simply evil, fear lurks in the woods, absolute chilling creature.
And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.